Hey guys, tonight's show is going to be a little bit different. You know, I'm always trying to learn and, hone my craft and get better at this YouTube thing. I've been fishing for years, but the YouTube thing is kind of new. And so anyway, the other night I was reading the message board, and one of the guys had commented on a post of mine, and he said that, made the comment that any fishing video that did not have a fish catch in it was considered lame by him. And I'm not picking on you, buddy. But whether I agree with that or don't agree with it, I'm going to make sure that this video is not lame. So we're going to have a fish catch in here before we get started talking. Just so you know what we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about a little BASS, a little MLF, some local fishing circuits, and that kind of thing. Anyway, I think it's going to be a pretty good talk. Y'all hang on. Here's that beautiful bass footage. Well, hell, that's exactly where it come through. You see the trees are gone right here.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. That's good too.
What was that on?
Top water. So big. I say big in here for here.
Hell yeah.
There we go. There we go. Oh, I can't swim.
Give me grab.
Oh, no, here we go. Get your ass in here. Damn good.
Damn!
Look at there. That's what I'm talking about.
I hope that GoPro's on.
GoPro's on. I got him hooked there with weight hook line.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're looking for.
Here we go.
Welcome to the show. Greg just got one, y'all.
No, he don't get me. We're good. There we go. Put him on that right there. Put him in the box. Give me a photo later.
Okay.
He can come out top. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, tonight's show is going to be a little bit controversial. So if you can't stand controversy, probably ought to hang up right now and leave it alone. Anyway, we're going to talk about a few things, some MLF, some bass, some local circuits, just different things, and just kind of my take on some of this stuff. If you've got an opinion on this, feel free to drop it. Even if it's a different opinion, I want to hear it. So anyway, feel free to drop a comment. We're going to start with just some basic things and things that I've noticed. You know, I've always said I'm really not a fan of professional fishing. Even though I've followed it for a long time, I've never really considered myself a fan. Maybe I am, I don't know. But I'm kind of an old school guy. And over the weekend, I was able to catch a little bit of MLF. I usually don't watch that stuff, but I was at a friend's house and we watched an episode of it. And to be honest with you, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good show, and I was actually surprised at how much I liked it. I've watched them before, but not to any great extent. And I thought it was professionally done, and I really liked it. It's like a cup qualifier or something like that. But anyway, I thought it was good. And of course, I watched some Bassmaster from time to time, and to be honest with you, I really haven't cared that much for Bassmaster since the old TNN days. And I guess I'm kind of aging myself by that, but back in the 80s and 90s when it was on TNN, I thought those were some of the best shows, and I still watch some of those on YouTube now and kind of reminisce and that kind of thing. But, I guess one of the things that bothers me about all this stuff is, you've got MLF, they're firing shots at bass constantly, and bass returns fire. I mean, it's a constantly some kind of bickering back and forth. You've got pros that, one fishes on MLF and they bass the ones on bass and back and forth. And I guess what really kind of drew me into seeing this is, I know that I have heard recently, and I've heard it with my own ears, that there are some guys that, the Bassmaster Classic is coming up in March, and you've got guys that are fishing MLF now that were bass pros for a long time. Some of them have won classics, Angler of the Years, things like that. And they're not wanting to go and work the classic. I guess that's okay. Bass made you. And whether you like it or not, I don't know where your hatred comes from or if you have any. You do seem to be a little bit that way. And I'm talking about one or two particular guys. I'm not going to call any names, but everybody knows them. And, I think that if your sponsor is going to be there, one of your main sponsors is going to be at the Bassmasters Classic, I really think you ought to be there. That's just my opinion. You know how opinions are, they're like buttholes. Everybody's got one. That's mine. If I was your sponsor and you didn't want to go, you wouldn't have one. I mean, that's just the way it is. And but anyway, I mean, I think that's kind of, bar the expression. Just because you don't like bass anymore and you fished out there for 20 plus years or whatever it was, I think it's chicken shit. I mean, I really do. I mean, I hate to use the term, but it is. It's chicken shit. And I don't really care if you disagree with me. Drop it in the comments. I want to hear it. I'm not gonna get mad, but I do want to hear it. I just think it's ludicrous, and like I said, I don't know where that that disconnect is and why there's so much anger. You would think that an organization that actually made you and made your career, you've made a living there, I would think you owe something to the fans even. And I'm not a big bass fan. I like to fish. I like to catch them. I like to compete. I like making videos. But that's just kind of the way I feel about it. Like I say, I would welcome any comments. Something else that I did want to talk about tonight is here in Arkansas, where I'm from, I have fished most of the circuits at some point in time over the years. And I think this year, in particular, in 2020, from what I've seen from the schedules, I believe it to be the best year that Arkansas has had. I mean, there's no question that we don't necessarily have the money and the that kind of thing as some of the other states. We've got Texas bordering us on the west, and they have all types of tournaments, big money tournaments, that kind of thing. We just don't have those, and people wonder, well, Texas does it, we can do it. Well, they got a little more money than we got per capita. But I have to tell you, this year's BFL schedule, I think it's top notch. I think Mr. Bass, I think Cody Kemp's doing a good job with that. I wished I had time to fish some of those. Maybe at some point before I die, maybe I can again. I have fished those before, and I've always enjoyed them. ABA has a couple of circuits here in the state. I think the schedules of those are pretty good. I think John and Bill both run a good circuit from what I understand. Arkansas Team Bass or Arkansas Bass Team Trail, they've got a good deal going. I think those guys are doing a good job. This year I'm actually going to fish Trader Bill's. I've never fished Trader Bill's before. This year I'm going to, so I'm looking forward to that. They've got 3 tournaments plus a championship, and they're paying really good money. If you're on the fence about what to fish, come on out there and fish with us. They're guaranteeing $15,000 per event for first. If they get 175, I've heard they're going to give away 20, for first. So that's a good deal. Anyway, I did want to bring up that. I think all of these guys are doing a good job. I'm going to give them a hand. And not that anybody listens to me, but like I say, I'm impressed. I really am. I think it's really good. And before we get off here, I do have a question. And like I say, if you can help me in the comments, I need to learn how to fish these. It's a mag draft freestyle. What's it called? Yeah, freestyle. And I don't really know how to do it. I mean, I don't know what kind of hook to put in it. It's a 6-inch version. And I really don't know how. I don't know what to do with it. I've never fished one. I fished a mag draft with a treble hook in it. It's got the magnet and all that stuff in it. But I've never fished this one. And so anybody that can help me, I'd sure appreciate it. Drop in the comments. If y'all want to carry me fishing, you live around here and want to carry me fishing and shoot a video on it, I'd be glad to do it. Anyway, I appreciate you listening to me, watching my video. And like I say, if you got some comments, please drop them. If you like it, please like and subscribe. And I'll catch y'all next time. Thanks for watching.